And I'm back with more Spirit of Justice. Apollo and Phoenix are now in the final trial of 6-5. The trial of Dhurke Sahdmadhi. Did he kill Justice Minister Inga, or can they prove that he didn't? Well, let's find out. So this one I'm gonna take slowly, because there are a lot of stopping points, I think. So it might take me a good, 10 episodes or more just to do this bit. Because again, this is long. This is a long trial. So bear that in mind. But let's go. Ga'ran. It's complete chaos outside. Let's just say the Defiant Dragon supporters demonstrating Dhurke's freedom have taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. They look like they're ready to string us up if we lose. Trials here are pretty much like the ones back at home, but with one major difference. The divination seance. Victims' final memories will become a matter for deliberation. I've heard about that, but they haven't stopped you from winning your cases. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, memories of the dead are simply another piece of evidence. There's always a way to deal with them if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dhurke is innocent, but... Dhurke, what is the secret you're keeping? Hey, AJ! Here you go, just like I promised. Yeah! I almost want to go yeet. Anyway, thanks, Dats. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police? Yeah, I spent the night in the slammer. I had a fine meal, a shower, even a bed. What more could I ask for? That actually sounds way better than where we're staying. Just remember, AJ, if Dhurke's found guilty, well, I'll probably be found guilty under the DC Act, too. Yeah, Nahyuta said something to that effect. That witch Ga'ran wants to take advantage of today to crush our revolution. The fate of the revolution, every Guaranese person, it rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ. We'll be fine. I'm gonna win this one, you'll see. The trial will begin shortly. Let's make our way to the courtroom. Right! Damn. Let the trial of Dhurke Sahdmadhi begin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Majesty. So it really comes down to this, huh? Well, don't expect me to hold anything back. The trial will examine both the murder of Justice Minister Inga Karkul Ga'ran and the assassination of the former Queen Amara Sigatar Ga'ran. First, I believe we should address the murder of Minister Inga. Would that be acceptable, prosecutor? Prosecutor Sahdmadhi? Yes, of course. Please proceed. What's with him? How very unlike you. Is your mind elsewhere today? Not at all. Are you really going to be okay? Be able to go through with this? Well, Prosecutor Sahdmadhi, I believe I would be remiss if I failed to voice a concern of mine. I have heard mention that you are the son of the accused. You have heard true. Does that fact pose some sort of problem, Your Majesty? The father being prosecuted by his own son? Could one possibly deliberate such a case without personal feelings intervening? Yes, without question. Can you really handle this? Even if it is Sahdmadhi, he's going against his own father. How can the son of a criminal even be a prosecutor? Dhurke? Fellow citizens, you would do well not to underestimate my son. He's not one to allow personal feelings to interfere with the execution of his duty. Ain't that right, Nahyuta? I will not stop until my work here is done. See? So all your doubters just sit back down before you trip over your own stupidity. The accused will not take the stand without first being summoned. In any case, if Prosecutor Sahdmadhi has no issue with the arrangement, then let us commence with the deliberations. Uh-oh. What the... One moment, if you would. Your Eminence! What brings you here? Your Majesty. It would appear that Prosecutor Sahdmadhi does indeed have some reservations. No, it's not true. Did you truly believe you could deceive me, Nahyuta Sahdmadhi? One should not hold reservations if one is to stand in these hallowed funerary grounds. I have none. No, it is clear we cannot leave this matter to you. We shall handle the prosecution of enemy of the crown Dhurke Sahdmadhi personally. But remain by our side and bear witness how a true prosecutor enforces the law. Excuse me, but is the Queen gonna prosecute? Is that, kosher? There is no need for concern. Before we were crowned Queen, we served as a prosecutor. Really? As a foreigner, your ignorance can be excused, but know this. The prosecutor in charge of Queen Amara's assassination case was none other than Queen Ga'ran Nahyuta. First your Majesty, now this? Why didn't anybody ever tell me these things? I'd heard she served as Minister of Justice, but she was a prosecutor? I'm guessing she probably moved up to lead the ladder from prosecutor to justice minister. We prosecuted that case 23 years ago, but no verdict was ever rendered. We had won guilty verdicts in every case until then, for no lawyer could stand up to us. I am at a loss for words. To think I would once more bear witness to her eminence at work in the Hall of Justice. Our first trial, 23 years. No quarter shall be given to criminals. We shall prosecute them with all our might. Oh. Oh dear. What a magnificent sight! The Queen's attire from her prosecutor days! When did she turn into Cloud of Darkness from Final Fantasy III? Like, Jesus! That's Queen Ga'ran? Talk about an extreme makeover. It's all coming back now. The feel of my blood pumping through these veins. Woe to you, O enemies of Ga'ran, for I shall personally slice, dice, and grind you up into hog feet. I don't suppose I can ask her to roll back on her polite pre-makeover personality. Know this, lawyer. Yes? Now that I stand as prosecutor, consider your defense's bench a headman's scaffold. If you wish to leave any last words, I advise you to think of them now. Do not beat me with that stick, please. Oh my god, that is a paddling. That is a paddling. While you still have a head with which to think. She's serious. Now it is time for the divination seance. Rafa, come forth. Your benevolence, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Ah, shit. Still got those sniffles. Your benevolence? I understand it may be difficult for you, but may we proceed with the divination seance? Yes, let us proceed. Forgive me for asking, but are you feeling physically unwell? If so, I would advise you to avoid any undue exertion. Your benevolence? What's wrong? It's like her mind's anywhere but here. What's happened since yesterday? On top of the murder of her beloved father, she found out he's been planning a coup? And today she'll have to experience his death through her own eyes. Or his own eyes. That'd be enough to shake anyone up. Still, seems like she's worse off today than she was yesterday. Yeah, I don't remember her being this depressed. No. No, that sounds very bad. Wait. Ga'ran didn't do something to her, did she? Your Eminence, about today's divination seance, as I understand it, the prosecution has yet to review its content. Is this divination from protocol a part of your plan? Or deviation from protocol? Prosecutor Sahdmadhi, would you care to explain your actions? Your Eminence, the accused was caught at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I deemed no seance would be necessary for such a clear-cut case. You and your bleeding heart. You seek to spare Rafa the trauma of witnessing her father's death. Is that why you've done this? Not at all. You were concerned for me, prosecutor? That's all be compassionate of him, all things considered. Your Eminence, your Majesty, regardless of what's best for her benevolence, this case is blessed with a bounty of incontrovertible evidence, so I believed we could reach a swift verdict without devoting precious time to a seance. You have a point. Personally, I'd like to spare her benevolence any undue misery. Experiencing the murder of a loved one is a burden no one should have to bear. Prosecutor Sahdmadhi, your Majesty, can this trial truly proceed without a divination seance? I can't blame her for not wanting to experience her father's murder. Your Eminence, what are your feelings on it? Shall we have her benevolence return home for needed rest? Those are some nails. We shall not. You fools spoil her with your feckless words of compassion. Listen well, Rafa. You have spoken time and time again about how grown up you are, and now that you are now. So, let us see if the royal priestess has truly come into her own. Are you prepared to fulfill your duty and perform the divination seance as you should? Yes. That's better. See? Problem solved. Poor Rafa. Is this really a good idea? I guess we'll see. Very well. Let us begin the divination seance. Nena, my robe. Oh! Looks like Nena's still missing. It's been a whole day already. Barbed head. You remove my robe. What? Why me? Don't keep her benevolence waiting now. Can't you see she's ready to begin? Great. I've been reduced to royal robe remover. It's like she's grooming Mr. Right to be Nana's replacement. Eesh. Very well. Please start when you're ready. Come, Rafa. You know what must be done. There's no turning back now. I know. The final memories of the deceased. This should be interesting.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Oh. Well, this isn't a shock. Oh! No! What the... Oh, God! Your benevolence! What's wrong? This is unacceptable. Bailiff, take a benevolence to first aid at once. This is not good. Your Eminence, do you have any idea why her benevolence collapsed? It seems she was not ready for what the deceased was to reveal. It overwhelmed her. Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing. I know someone who's not winning Mother of the Year. Ever. I mean, of course Rafe is going to be overwhelmed. She's still just a child. It seems we have no choice but to move on to witness testimony. Your Majesty? Oh, yes, let us proceed. Summon the first witness, if you would. Oh, goody. Is it not the accused? It is indeed. I thought I would give him the opportunity to plead his case. For true justice is more than a unilateral presentation of the facts by the prosecution. That seems uncharacteristically fair. However, should the accused fail to present convincing testimony, he, along with his cabal of traitorous lawyers, shall immediately be found guilty, and the heads will roll from the shoulders. Gah! I should have known there was a catch. Your court, your rules. Same as always, I see. Now then, Dhurke Sahdmadhi, if you could enlighten us as to what happened. I would if I could. Oh, this is gonna go well. I was struck by a sudden dizziness at the moment I entered the tomb. Next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. And lying right next to me was Inga, dead as a doornail. I got no recollection of what happened in the interim. But I didn't kill him. At least, I don't think I did. It'd go against everything I believe in. Also, I swear I have changed Dhurke's voice like 4 different times throughout this entire case. Mostly either because of illness or just because of the inability to be a distinguished old man. Anyway, that didn't explain squat. For the record, let it be known that the accused's fingerprints were all over the murder weapon. And since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for a third party to tamper with it. Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Sahdmadhi. Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there. Seriously, Dhurke? This is no laughing matter. This is exactly what Ga'ran wanted. To have Dhurke try to plead his case only to fail. How low can she go? Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles, and let it be etched into your soul. See how instead of accepting the inevitable, those fish-brained lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair. Yes, Your Eminence. Show me the way. Now then, would the defense please begin their cross-examination? Alright, press second statement and fifth statement. Okay. Cool.
Hold it!
You recall anyone putting the knife in your hand? Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing before I came to. You'd think there might have been a third party in the tomb, huh? Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been there with you.
Objection!
Yeesh. What the? You called, Your Eminence? Does she go anywhere without those guys? Was there a third party in the tomb when you were securing it? No, Your Eminence. We searched high and low, but we found none of the sort. And there you have it. Oh, right. They did search the place. Furthermore, my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way anyone could escape. That's right! No one could go in or out without our knowledge. Her Eminence's on-site directives were absolutely flawless!
Urdi Hara Ga'ran!
Ga'ran. I say Ga'ran, I think. Doc. Do you see now? The presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, completely sealed off from the rest of the world. What a waste of time. How could it be any more obvious? Dhurke must be the killer. Thanks for nothing, gallery guy. As if our graves weren't already deep enough. Accused, what do you believe about the possible presence of the third party? Well, based on the situation you presented, I'd say the chances are slim to none. You didn't have to agree with her, man. Let the accused statement be added to the testimony. Very well, Mr. Sahdmadhi, if you would. It's like the more we press, the thinner the case gets. Let's keep pressing, and maybe we'll work out the wrinkles. I gotta press another statement, yay! Okay, so I have no recollection of what happened.
Hold it!
A day's passed since the murder. Haven't you remembered anything? My memory's a complete blank. It's as if part of my brain has been scooped right out. How very convenient. But even if you have no memory of the event, your guilt is without question. There's nothing more to debate. You're forgetting one thing. I have no motive. You lead a band of insurgents that seeks to overthrow the government. I would say that alone is motive enough to slay our kingdom's Minister of Justice.
Objection!
That's an objection! That might be the best one since Von Karma. Manfred Von Karma. Damn, he just... God, Jameson Price is good. Anyway, I've declared countless times that I lead a bloodless revolution. I forbid violence and murder, even if some younger members have a thirst for it. Bloodless revolution. Wouldn't really have a motive in that case. Is it that important a statement? That was an important statement. I'd like my client to add it to his testimony. Very well then, the accused will please do as the defense is requested. Bloodless revolution. Press the statement.
Hold it!
Can you state that you didn't kill him more definitively? How can I, when I have no memory of what happened? Can you at least state whether or not you're a murderer? That I can do. I am not a murderer, and I would never kill anyone regardless of circumstances.
Objection!
And do you have any evidence to support your claim that you did not kill the minister? Evidence? No, can't say I do. In that case, you will strike that statement I didn't kill him from your testimony. Wait, you can't just discard testimony like that. I mean, I'm the one cross-examining the defendant. Hold your prattling tongue, foreign devil. I am the queen of the kingdom. And the queen is the law. As such, I need not follow the laws that are in place. I can make and break them at will. Henceforth, the accused will refrain from stating, I didn't kill him. What? Sure, whatever. It's the Ga'ran show, after all, same as always. Bleh. Mysterious bloodstain. Okay, present. Huh? Present mysterious bloodstain. Okay.
Objection!
Your Eminence, I'm afraid this trial will not go exactly as you anticipated. because I can show how there might have been a third party in the tomb. Oh? How very fascinating. Go on, I do love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene, and we found a bloodstain that didn't match the Justice Minister's blood. I will remind you that neither Dhurke or Miss Faye were injured during the incident. The thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped up by someone. What's this? But who would have done such a thing? That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped the blood up and why? Thinking about it logically, it must have been someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. Oh, and to whom do you suppose? Who do you suppose this bloodstain might belong? I would say the killer. The real killer highlights sarcophagus. The bloodstain belongs to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Minister Ingot. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it up. I say this because we know for a fact that the Justice Minister fired his gun at the tomb. You have the memory of a flea. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This too is a fact.
Objection!
But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well, then tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. So if there was a hiding place, there'd have to be somewhere no one would dare look. Well, gee, I wonder what spot that would be. Let's have your answer, defense. Where could a third party have hidden?
Take that!
There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard. And that would be inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus. Even now, it's locked up tight. No one would find you if you hid in there. I'm told it's temperature controlled to preserve the mummy within. But if someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege! Surely the perpetrator with such a foul deed would be cursed! But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open it. True, guards are so scared of being cursed they wouldn't even touch it. And when the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines. Well now, that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. The defense requests a DNA test on the bloodstain. And then we'll see who the real killer is.
Insolence!
Huh? Bow your head and kneel, lawyer. So your head might be parted from your shoulders. But the trial's not even over. Whoa! How soon you forget. You are already on the headman's scaffold. As such, I could order your beheading at any moment. So why don't you? All I did was request a DNA test. There is no need to request such a test. Royal Guard, bring it forth now. Here you are, Your Eminence! The police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed that the blood is of the traitor Dhurke Sahdmadhi. What? But Dhurke wasn't injured, so where did his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up. Dhurke's illness. Still, there was a lot of blood. Could he really coughed up that much? Did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dhurke, is it really that bad? Oh shoot, you got me! Oh. Uh-oh. Pay attention, horned devil, for this case has already been solved. You claimed that this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not? About that. Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, Defense? Yes, I did. After she sneered in your direction, that is. I fell right into her trap. Do you see now the folly of opposing the very embodiment of the law? Whatever you say or do shall come to no avail. A third party at the scene of the crime? It's beyond the realm of possibility. God, that paddle's so fucking big! I hate to say this, but she really got us good. The key to Almara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to have opened it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? What if the real killer's still in there? No, it's just ridiculous. I believe we have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. It is to you I speak. Have you been listening? Dhurke Sahdmadhi, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt, has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder. No, it can't be! Dhurke would never! There must be some kind of mistake. The Defiant Dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts. So this is why Ga'ran allowed us to cross-examine him. By establishing his guilt in Inga's murder. She's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we've got an even bigger problem. And now, filthy lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Now I shall pass judgment upon the criminal Dhurke Sahdmadhi. What's this? You shall pass judgment? But, Your Eminence, is that not my role? Hold your tongue. You are but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of the law. Consider yourself dismissed. As Queen of Ga'ran, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. Oh, that was quick. Game over, everyone. I guess we're playing a different one tomorrow. Not really.
Objection!
Wait! You didn't even give me a chance to rebut! Know when you're defeated, lawyer. But just this once, I'm willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come. Convince me. Quick, Apollo. Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. How am I supposed to do that? Why don't you start with... How about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dhurke entered the tomb. But what if that's not true? Like if our assumptions are all wrong? It just might work. Well, don't keep us waiting, Defense. Dhurke became the prime suspect because it didn't seem possible or probable that a third party was at the scene. But if there's another question we should ask ourselves. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dhurke entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dhurke arrived at the scene, it opens up the possibility of the third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was he really killed? Isn't it possible that before Dhurke even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead? It would certainly make the possibility of a third party more possible. Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to the body from his entrance. Which means you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And we can't rule out the possibility that a third person committed a crime. I see. Well, it certainly does make sense. So far, so good. That might actually work. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in your tiny mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes. Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafa. Surely she has recovered by now. What about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? So, sorry, Judge. I hope you're feeling better, Your Benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony. How could my testimony be of any value? Your Benevolence. Princess Rafa seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sahdmadhi, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara and about me? Huh? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people, so I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be that as it may, Your Benevolence, it has no bearing upon our trial today, so there is no need to let it trouble you. I know. Ga'ran told Rafa about something other than Amara's status? Sounds like it. What could it be? Rafa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dhurke entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what's required of you? Yes, I am ready to testify. Very well, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's a good start. We're nowhere close to finishing this, by the way. But this is a good stopping spot. So, thanks for watching. We'll keep going tomorrow.